Gotta plant those later. I'm not really sure what to call this video. Foraging for survival, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. But it's late February going into March, and throughout history, in the colder climates, people didn't make it to spring. So you have to be able to forage. If you run out of food, you have to be able to forage for survival. And just show you what I got going on in here. I've got food growing in here, but nothing that adds bulk, mass. Let me show you right here. The bees are out. See the, I don't know if you can see the bees in there, but they're all out here now. But this whole backyard is organic. There's no pesticides in this backyard. So it's like a food forest back here. And if you look, this right here is the sugar beet. I had that covered up during that ice, rains, whatever we had. And that's pretty good. Sugar beet leaves. It'll develop a nice 4-pound root. But this is in a raised bed area. Very little water. We're going into another drought, so we've got very little water. During that ice, whatever freeze we had, a lot of plants got hit hard. And this is the result of it right here. But show you right here. I've got the little pond going. This is I think 20 gallons, 25 gallon tank. I still don't have any crawfish in there. I think I'm gonna put crawfish in there. But this is all gully debris. This whole thing right here is gully debris. Remember I planted the pinto beans in here, and the pinto beans grew really good. Fixed nitrogen in the soil. Put some garlic in here. This is garlic to freeze. But January, February, and March, it's the hardest months of the year for food. And I've got a lot of food growing in here. But I wanted to do this on foraging. This is a raised bed. So wherever you're at, look at this right here. These are deer tracks. See that? I've got deer coming in here. I'm competing with the deer for food. So if you have other animals coming in here, well, you'd be able to harvest the animal if it comes in your area in a survival scenario. But notice what I've done here. I've got garlic, like right here, just growing in this land, pasture land. I guess you call this a pasture, right? Just growing wild in here. And you gotta remember, well, you probably don't remember, but way back in the days during starvation, Germany, Ireland, they mixed grass with whatever they could find growing to give it flavor, and they made soups out of it. Also, Here's a dandelion, you know. And the idea is to get to these before the animals do. See right here, another one, and another one here. Okay. And you know, when you're out here, when you're foraging, you take your chances. You could end up getting a poisonous plant. And you know, you take your risks if you want to survive. But remember, when the animals are foraging also, so you have a good opportunity to harvest whatever comes your way. I dropped some garlic in this peach. I got a peach tree right here. Got garlic seeds growing. So if you put food, you know, you take a garlic or an onion and you just plant it all around your land, you've got food along your land. And most people are not gonna think of land the same way they think of a raised bed garden. Okay, this is edible right here. Every part of the dandelion plant is edible, but they're not gonna see a pasture as food. And then here I've got more garlic and onion growing in here. It's the easiest thing to start out with. Garlic and onion, just throw it around, plant it all over the place, and it will attract, you know, it creates a food forest, and you build it up slowly. And if you've got, you know, all your stuff will be there. But January, February, March, it's pretty much when your food will run out if you didn't store enough. And then right when the spring comes, well, a lot of people will be gone in a new, you know, and the cycle continues. But you really got to plan your food storage to where you can make it to the spring. In a real survival scenario, your whole time will be spent thinking about food production and food. Right now, there's so much abundance of food that it's hard to imagine that it could ever go away. But if it does, our whole life will be spent trying to figure out how to have enough to make it through the year, every year. And I've got in here, this looks like dandelion. I've got a whole bunch of different mixture of plants just growing in here wild, mixed with, like this is cilantro right here. Everything's just mixed in. Grass. If you had to, you know, you gotta hope you're not allergic to grass. Some people have allergies to grass. But, you know, you need to get your nutrients in your body. And, oh, see those black trash bags over there? I've got hay in there. I want to try planting potatoes in hay inside of a screen, chicken wire, and see what happens. But in a real scenario where survival, you're gonna need food, and that's the only thing you're gonna be thinking about is food. How to get it, how to make it. Look at this onion just growing through the crack. But you'll be competing with animals, and the animals will be gone really quick, like the deer and stuff. They're not gonna make it. And Hey, baby. Making a video. So, yeah. It ain't gonna be easy. Oh, look. Plants are starting to come back. Got some garlic planted around in there. See that? I haven't had a problem with pests and stuff like that. You know, having all this different type of all these plants in here, the garlic, the cilantro, and you know, all the different smells in here. I haven't really had a pest problem. But yeah, you might have to forage on the ground in the forest area if it gets really bad. Oh, look. See right here? I've even got cilantro. This is cilantro. I've even got cilantro right in here. Everything's just throw some seeds all over the place and see what happens. All right. This isn't a good video, but I think it's time to make a video. I'm going to be planting the potatoes and onions on the in the survival garden and see what happens. But there's no water. There's a serious water problem. I'm thinking on the edge of the perimeter of these raised beds, I'm gonna do what I did right here and line everything with plastic to retain the water, because these bricks, they're soaking up the water. Of course, I got 1,000 gallons of water, rainwater, to try to make it happen with. I'm using very little city water in this, but basically I'm just taking the city water and I'm covering, you know, sprinkling the top of all the plants with water just about once or twice a day, and then taking the this water right here and putting it into the ground, into the soil. Man, foraging for food. It's a small area to practice this in, but it's the same thing. You know, you could scale it up. It's possible to simulate at a smaller scale the what'll happen in a bigger scale. So, little food forest, just letting everything grow wild. But it takes a while to learn what to eat off the ground. And if you make a mistake and you get a poisonous plant, it's gonna be painful. You know, you might not make it, but that's survival. It could be, hopefully nothing will happen, but if it comes, try to at least put something in the area that'll grow wild in the ground. See y'all later. The area that you plan on relocating to. See you later.